Hello, it's Miss Heather, piano and voice teacher at Conservatory of the Ozarks. Just working on another study guide video for my master's degree. So, I'm going to read from my study guide for my exam about the Oxford movement. The Oxford movement, or the Tractarian movement within the Church of England, had a return to the previous. Tracts for our time. The break from Rome threw out too much. Worship services and buildings were too stark in architecture, and they had a rude screen. There was concern with the whole picture of worship. There was an emphasis on music, majesty, and mystique. They were looking back to medieval music in the church. The breviary. They were looking back to the early church. Great translators were translating hymns of the past. There were not only these two, but the major players were these two. They were translators, poets, and theologians. John Mason Neale and Catherine Winkworth. John Mason Neale lived from 1818 to 1866. He died when he was only 41 years old. Translated Latin hymns into the vernacular. Found hymns in the breviary to translate. Catherine Winkworth lived from 1827 to 1897. She wrote Lyrica Germanica at 28 years old. It was a German to English translation of Reformation hymns. Paul Gerhardt's influence on English hymnody continued into the 19th century when many of his hymns were translated, especially by John Kelly and Catherine Winkworth. 90 of his hymns have been translated into English by 50 people. And that's all I have for that question so far. Hopefully it's enough material.